Well, hello everyone and welcome to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is about overcoming businesses' pain. Our guest today talks about how she helps businesses to grow, overcomes pain, and to strive. Not an easy thing to do, especially with so much challenges presented to businesses these days. So many entrepreneur business owners are struggling to see how they could get more visibility out there, how they could get support within the work they do. My guest will be telling me just her journey and how she's become successful in what she does. Let me tell you a little bit about my guest. Her name is Bernie Davies. She is a publisher, TEDx speaker, trainer, best-selling author, diversity and entrepreneurship leader, international master coach and business mentor with an outstanding legal career in property, who has now dedicated herself to helping businesses increase visibility and grow their network and thrive. She launched Your Book, Your Way publishing house in 2021. A double best-selling author, her business best-selling Your Business, Your Way topped the Amazon new releases in all three categories and is an overall Amazon bestseller. Benny has trained hundreds of thousands of businesses from private and public sectors as far back as 2009. She's now supporting new business development with her role as business mentor for businesses in Wales. She's an associate and business coach for the Welsh Government Accelerator Program. She is trained in-house for Cardiff Council Economic Development Team, Johnson & Johnson, Welsh Language Board, and many more. She has single-handedly delivered countlessly monthly sellout training programs. She's regularly on awards, sits on awards judging panel as a business specialist. She has continues to be a regular guest on BBC Radio Wales and a contributing media personality. All of this said, I can't wait for you to meet my amazing guest to talk about how she's overcome her challenges of life to find her joy. Meet my guest, Benny Davies. Well, hello everyone and welcome again to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is really about those who are out there seeking help, looking for ways to improve your businesses. Are you out there asking yourself this vital question? Why is my business not thriving? How do I get a mentor to really improve my visibility, to really help me in where I am now? Well, my guest today will be helping you. She'll be telling you about her own journey, how she got started, and why she is where she is today. Meet my guest, wonderful, Benny Davies. How are you?
Oh, I'm so thrilled. I am really well and so thrilled to be with you, Anne. I cannot wait to just talk and share and, unpack ideas today.
I'm really, really excited. I see you've got the festive season behind you. So
yes.
Love. I'm absolutely happy to have you here. When I read your bio, I was really blown away by what you have done. You've come from humble beginnings and you've never let that stop you. You still give back to the community. Even in where you are today, you could easily have said, it's okay, I'm just going to sit back, but that's not you. Before we get started, who are you?
It's so interesting, and that you've asked me who am I, because anybody who has spent any time with me know that is the most important thing that I believe anybody should know, and that is, who are you? Who are you really? Because we're not what we do. Yes. No. So if people ask me who am I, you're not going to hear that I have a lawyer who practiced for 21 years, or that I've spoken here, there, or anywhere, or I've done this or that. I'm going to be telling you the things that move and drive me. So who am I? I am this young lady, still young, just young at heart. I'm this young lady who learned very early, thankfully, that the most important thing you can discover you can ever make, and the single most important gem that you could ever find, is yourself. My mother used to ask me, or tell me, to know myself. And I couldn't understand what she meant. She used to even tell me in Latin, temet nosse, because she was a university professor. So there I go. That, for my sins, I I was hearing that. Know yourself, know yourself. But you know, my mother understood, and I subsequently understood myself, that to know yourself, it puts you in a position of power in life and business. It frees you of life's bullies, and in particular, the bully of other people's opinions. So to answer the question, who am I have to tell you a little bit about who I was. Yes, fourth of 5 children in a very high achieving family, Jamaican Caribbean family. So you guys who know about that, you know it's about you're born, you better do well. There is no option. Yes. So I was in that high achieving family. My parents were from humble beginnings. They did very well, and they expected that every one of us were going to do well. But I was fourth. So you can imagine the hierarchy. But I discovered very soon that by 4 years old, and we had a weekly in-house spelling bee and multiplication. If I won, and I won that coveted tin of peanuts, it was not just the peanuts I won. I discovered I won center stage. I won adulation. For a brief moment, I was no longer the runt. And so I discovered that I developed this competitive spirit that made me most unpopular person in high school. Yes, nobody liked me. But what I did, I found my place in top of the class, perfect person, teacher's pet. But then, you know, Lady Anne is all about the pain. Well, the pain hit when I reached my first year in university, and I dropped out of university because I fell pregnant. You can imagine what that would have done to a person who, like me, who built all of who I was and what I did in a family that was so well respected and prominent. But that was what taught me who I was. Because then I had to be bereft of all of what I did. For a brief moment, I had to see me. It's the best thing that has ever happened to me in life, because then I could see that I was a person who doesn't give up. I was a person who valued people, valued support. I was a person who could not handle injustice and people judging. So I developed this persona now, which has equipped me to be the person I am today. So who am I? I am a person that wants to support, that wants to inspire, that wants to give. I'm a person who understands that you are positioned for purpose, not for adulation. You're positioned to help. We go together or not at all. So today I sit with Anne to say, guys, you want to build your business? Start first with you. Start first with understanding who you are and what that means to your business, to your personal brand, and to your business brand. And then you can think about showcasing it, because until you know who you are and you get that right, you're not ready to showcase yourself to the world.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely true. Because, you know, you could have everything in life, but until a pain really hits you, you're never able to find out that true you and your true purpose in life, your true value in life. And but is this what led you on this legal path of because you have a career in the legal and career in legal property? Is that what led you to this path of going to serving and helping others find
justice? And that is so true, because I decided I'm going to practice law, because at the time I was in university first, I was doing government and politics. And I'm not saying that politicians don't make a difference, but they are constrained, aren't they? So that segue into law is what allowed me to be positioned to do what I really believe is my legacy to this in the world. So I became a lawyer, but then I realized I just didn't want to be in corporate law, which is where I started first. Yes, I was not enjoying it. I was miserable. I thought, I can't do this. So for one, and I tell you, I'm being honest, I stopped. I left the practice of law. My mother said to me, there is consternation in the legal fraternity that you've left, because I went and decided to sell life insurance. My brother-in-law, the life insurance company. And I said, I can't do this. I cannot be the big fluffy cars, the big office. I was dying. And then I did a personality profiling test. And it came back and said that for me, law is the profession. So I said, then why am I not enjoying it? And my brother-in-law said, maybe you need to do it your way. So I set up my own practice,
Yes.
and I started to do law my way, serving people, helping people. I was able to do a lot of pro bono work. I was able to really create my way of delivering the legal services, which is what opened the doors for me to come to the United Kingdom in the year 2000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to be honest, it's not only about what you do, it's about how you do it. Because when I found my true north in the practice of law, I then had fulfillment.
Absolutely. This is really phenomenal. And I look at your life right now, and I read your bio. You also an author. You didn't just stop in helping others. You're an author, and you've
Yes.
written your business your way. And it's almost like what you've just said now. You realize that at the end of the day, what really matters is being able to deliver the way you understand. You could be in any profession you want, but if you don't do it the way you understand, you can never be. It's always difficult to be successful. And this was an Amazon bestseller. What was your important message you wanted to send to people so they could confidently go forward in choosing businesses that they truly love?
Yes, it's about your why. Why am I doing this business? Yes, nobody cares about what you do. They want to know, what does what you do for them? So what's your, the thing about what's your unique value proposition, and what's your USP? Why? What's the purpose behind the business? There's this term called social entrepreneur. We all should be social entrepreneurs. Our business should be doing more than just making us money. It should be uplifting. It should be doing something special, but in whatever area it is. So for me, I found that at the time I was inspired to write that book, because before I wrote a book 12 years ago on networking, because there's another a whole other story about how I ended up being into networking, because I was head of property at my law firm. I needed to go out and build it. I went out networking and I realized I was doing really, really well at it. That's what made me also cement my whole philosophy on who you are and your you print, because I realized I was leaving this unique imprint around, which was so attractive, to the extent that I became the darling of the media, TV, radio, everything, everybody. Only 6 months in Wales, and people ask me, like, what's up with her? Why? I asked, why? And then people used to say to me, well, Bernie, you make us, when we see you, you make us feel special. You make us feel like you're so happy to see us all the time. You're always so bright and colorful. I never try to speak British because I can't. I have my accent to this day. You're always seeing how you can help others. You're always connecting people. And then I realized, actually, I'm really, really good at that. So I actually left the practice of law and built a business around helping people at a very high level, from the Cardiff Council Economic Development Team, local government, everybody, how to build whatever they were doing by relationships. So that was my first book, my networking handbook. That one did excellently as well. However, when the pandemic hit and I just launched my networking franchise, and people were just in a state of flux. What are we going to do? They didn't know how to cope. I thought, I've got to do something, because the internet highway became jam-packed and everybody was jostling, and me. Okay, everybody is trying for that same space. Everybody is trying to stand out. And I thought, I've got to write this book to help people to understand. It's not about trying to copy the next person's post. Trying to be the next person who can have 100,000, 1 million followers. I would listen. I do what would I do with 1 million followers? You tell me, and because you have them. But for me, that's not my thing. Hey, listen, guys, let me, true confession, check me out. Amongst all my social media platforms, if I have 10,000 followers, I have a lot. But what I have is the quality. I have learned how to maximize that thing that I have. Yes. So I don't write a proposal. I've never written a proposal in 12 years. And I only discovered it when somebody asked me recently, can you, I see you work with universities. I'm trying to get in this university. Can you send me a proposal template? And I looked at my husband, I said, I just realized I have not written a proposal in how many years? The only sample I had on my laptop was dated years ago. Do you know why? Because of how I maneuver on social media by showing who I am, what I can do for you, what I have done and what I am doing. That's my living, breathing proposal. So the work just comes, the work just comes. So I thought, how am I going to help people to learn how to maneuver in this new economy, this pandemic economy, to stand out, but be authentic, be genuine, be credible, and not be a copycat. So that's why I wrote that book, to give them tips on emotional intelligence, give them tips on how to leverage their social capital, how to understand the various nuances just by little things that are said and done, how to read the marketplace and the people that are in your marketplace cleverly, not by being disingenuous or with any kind of, intent that is not right, but with the intent to be the best version of you that you can be, to make a difference in your neck of the woods. The rest will happen. Word of mouth is still the best tool of referral. People will refer. The sound, the trumpet will go out. The sound will go out. There'll be the groundswell and it will come back to you.
Absolutely. And that's something we all just, I mean, you're very right. So many people are pushing that market towards social media, but social media doesn't have the feel, the touch, the quality, and nothing beats that word of mouth. Someone saying, have you spoken to this person? I did this thing with this person, and it was just such an amazing job. And it comes even to my next question about treating people right, because you look at the world today and people are so unfair. Everyone is so in a haste to make this work, and in the process, they forget we're all humans. Why is it important in your work of life and in every work of life that we start treating our colleagues with understanding as they return back to work? Because there's this thing that a lot of people, I get this request and complaint that so many people are afraid to go back to work because of the way they're being treated. Why is it so important that we start treating people fairly?
No more than ever, humanity and a true appreciation of what that means is paramount. Because it goes back to, we are people first before we are what we do. Yes, people are going through so much. We have, and I hate the word unprecedented because it's been used so much, but what other word suits it? It has been an unprecedented series of unfortunate events over the last 24 months. Yes, people are suffering and with various levels of mental health issues.
Yes.
They're all struggling in different ways. And we've got to learn to be kind. There's another cliche, but you know why cliches are cliches? Because they are good. They have value. That's why I use them all the time. So I am never going to apologize for using a cliche, because if it was not worthy of being repeated, it wouldn't become a cliche. So we've got to be kind. We've got to ask ourselves, how would we like to be treated? It goes back to my early years when I went through my leveling, when I was Mrs. I think I knew I was better than everybody else. Yes. And I got my leveler. Yes. And I then understood how you can be misjudged, how unfair it is for people to judge you on what you've done, one mistake, how unfair it is to assume. Yes, that's saying assume, make an ass out of you and me. It is correct, but you know what what assuming does? It kills dreams. It makes us make statements in people's lives that last. Think about it. Think about the things, that negative narrative that you've had going on in your mind that you've had to overcome. Isn't it somebody that you valued that said that to you? Yeah. Sometimes it's even somebody who cared about you, was trying to protect you and told you, no, you can't do it. So who are we at this time to be anything but kind, to say anything but words of encouragement and hope, to give anything but time to someone who needs it. Who are we to deprive anyone of something that can uplift and inspire in these times?
That's true. That's true. And that's something we tend to neglect. We tend to forget that we're not in any, and no one is in any position to give anyone that damping spirit. And we need to figure out, how do we uplift each other and
Yes,
work together, uplift ourselves and bring that joy again. I love
exactly.
Ben,
Because you know what, Anne,
yeah.
what we don't understand is that we are the sum of our past. We are who we are now, but we are where we're going.
Yes.
Never dismiss anyone out of hand. You have no idea where they're going. Never dismiss anyone out of hand. You have no idea where they've been. Yes. And never dismiss anyone out of hand, because you have no idea what's going on. Yes. You live long enough, like I have lived, and I have seen. Listen, do not regret ignoring someone. Do not be that person that has to regret ignoring someone when you see them in their greatness. You don't know where they're going. You don't know who's the next best thing. You don't know who's going to get that next big position.
Yeah.
Yes. But even if they're going nowhere of any great magnitude, they are people like you and me. And remember, it is not about what we do. It's about who we are, and it's about the legacy we leave. One of the things my mother, that same mother that I started talking about you about, taught me is, it's not about what you do, it's how you make people feel after they've left your presence.
Yeah.
Yes, that you print I'm talking about, that I say we have our own unique fingerprint, footprint, we have our own unique you print. Yes, and I teach people how to discover their you print. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you discover it, then you start to, because you are by default still leaving it. But when you actually own it, recognize it and own it, and decide to make that, because it's not going to be something you create out of a fictional. It's supposed to be something that is already in you. And then you purposefully hold yourself to account to be that person every time you show up. What do I mean by that? Okay, this is one of my you prints. Everybody thinks Bernie is always, oh, funny. She's always laughing. She makes you feel happy. She brings this. Yeah, that's what they tell me. Yes. So this morning, I met Anne last week with a little chat.
Yes.
And I was all bubbly and everything. So Anne has me here today. So this morning I wake up and I get some bad news. I decide I can't be bothered with that Bernie. I'm coming in with this Bernie that feels sorry for herself. I'm going to come in and be this other person. No. I have a responsibility to show up as who I am. So when the negative narrative comes and I'm thinking, I've got this has just happened, I've just had this bad news, I say to myself, you cannot afford to be anything else but who you are. You're not that person who hangs your head down. You're that person who lifts squares your shoulder, wears red if you feel down. Yes? Get your makeup on. Absolutely. And you bring joy. Absolutely. That's what I mean, guys. We have a responsibility to be the best that we can be every time we need to show up.
Bernie, you said that because one of my lessons when I learned that was when I was every time I was in hospital. The first time immediately doctor say you're discharged, I go to my hairdresser. I said, fix me up, because I don't want to look in the mirror and feel pity on myself, because all I see is pity. I see this sorry girl who should go and just crumble herself. And I said to my hairdresser, she's like, but you're so frail, you shouldn't do it, go rest for a bit. I said, no, my healing will come from me making that effort. And I love your work because you've dedicated yourself to helping so many people. You helping businesses to increase visibility, to grow the network, and to thrive. This is your specialty area. When you go to businesses who are struggling in that business pain of not being able to, increase their visibility, of not being able to grow their network, not being able to thrive, to move from the next. As we move into the new year, as we celebrate the new year, what are messages that you would tell a business person to help them to get to the next level?
Right. So I have already spoken about getting to know who you are and working on holding yourself accountable to be the best version of who you are. Then the next thing I'd say is, who is your tribe? Who is your companion? Who has your ear and who is listening to your voice? That's very important. Because remember, I said we go together or not at all. And then also, there's an old Caribbean saying that says, show me your company, I'll tell you who you are. There's another saying I'll say as well, is if you are the most positive, clever person in your room, you're in the wrong room. Yes? Mm-hmm. So what you need to look at is you're going into 2022, you've worked on yourself, but you need to work on your associations. You want people around you who share your vision. Yes, and also people around you that you can help. So you need to have a mixed group of people. You have those who you look up to, those who challenge you, those who inspire you to be a better you, version of yourself. Yes, those who work alongside you and encourage you. You can bounce ideas off, and that can include some of the ones that you have above as well. If you have a little advisory panel, I always say everybody should have a little advisory panel, maybe 3 or 4 of people that you bounce ideas off, right? And you hold yourselves accountable. But you must have those that you're helping. Let me tell you guys, you see when you're going against it and you're feeling down, the best thing to do is think, who can I cheer up today? Who can I help? Who's struggling? You know, human nature is built to thrive when they're helping. You try to be down, yes, and then you start to encourage somebody else who is down and see if you yourself can remain down. I taught myself happy all the time. Yes. Yes. The days, any day, if you follow me on social media, any day you see me putting out a lot of inspirational things, that's a clue. I'm probably struggling with something. Yes. So coming into 2022, yes, know yourself, embrace your U-print, be aware of who you are and the accountability to remain authentic to your true self. Yes, yes. Choose your audience, choose your crowd, choose your tribe. Yes. And having that tribe, those who inspire you, those who work along with you, and those who you can help at all times. Yes. Yes. And then what you do is decide systematically what part of what I am doing is needed now. So you need to, therefore, pay attention. It's not all about you. Stop navel gazing. What's going on in your work, in your realm? What's the need? What's the conversation? How can I support? So like for me, when I started out helping businesses, and I never was really one who was just about, you know, diversity, and, you know, I was never one of the about burning my bra and and you know, oh, Black power and all of that. You know, I'm a Black, never. But as I developed in business and I'm paying attention, yes, I realized that there's some women that need to be uplifted. They need to square their shoulders. They need to get over this silly body image problem. They need to get over comparing themselves with the next girl and realize the beauty that they have inside of them and the talent that they have inside of them. So I just realized I started to work a lot with women just by naturally responding to the need, and work with universities and banks and you know, to help them with the entrepreneurship programs that they have to support women. And then I started to pay more attention, and I realized that the whole matter of the Black, Asian, and ethnic minority groups, there were certain things that needed support. I started doing that. Before you know it, I'm invited to the board of Black History Wales Management Committee. I'm invited to support Black Pound Day. I'm invited, I can't even tell you all the various Black initiatives. I recently won Diversity and Inclusion Award, Women Business Award for the UK. None of that was something And I sat down and wrote and said, I am going to, no, I responded to what was happening within my marketplace. Pay attention, guys, because you might miss an opportunity to make a difference because you're too busy focusing on what you think you want to give to your community without paying attention to what your community wants from you.
That is a beautiful answer. I mean, that is so true. We all miss it because sometimes it's true. You're paying attention to something and you forget what the real calling is, where you need to be. On that note, we all need mentors, and you know how difficult it is. You're doing a great job with this. You helping, you mentor a lot of women, and you just said, what is the impact that we're all suffering from the lack of experienced mentors out there? Because it's very difficult to get one.
It is very difficult, and unfortunately, and you know, the thing is, mentors do need to earn a living. So, you know, it's, I can't knock a mentor who is going to charge what they're worth, because I tell people to value what you do. So you should charge what you're worth. But a lot of the people that need to have mentors can't afford it. So what I've noticed is that there are quite a few people who are reluctant to seek mentoring. But I would want to suggest that there are also a lot of people who would not want to invest in mentoring because they're really underestimating the real value of having a mentor. Somebody to put the mirror up and say, have a look at this. Somebody to say, come on, this is how you do it. Yes, somebody to be your cheerleader. Yes, but most importantly, somebody to give you direction. Yes, so I find now you have people who just don't want to invest in themselves. And I say to you, that's a bit short-sighted. You say, I can't afford a mentor. Can you afford not to have a mentor in these times? If you are finding yourself falling out of love with your business, you know, having clarity, you're seeing other people doing really well and you'd like to be like them, how about being mentored? And you can ask some of the prominent mentors. I know I do it, and a lot of them do it. They do have people that they think this person is a really, really good candidate, and I'll give them some of my time. So you never know. So ask. But please, please, always try your best in these times to equip yourself. This is not the time to shrink back. It's the time to equip yourself and be ready, because success is where preparation and opportunity meet. Not my quote. I wish it was. I think it was Oprah Winfrey who said that. Yes. Success is where preparation and opportunity meets. Yes. So if you want to have success, you've got to get yourself mentored. I know that the banks are having mentoring programs because I work a lot with the banks. Universities are having quite a bit of entrepreneurship programs. I work with them, the Welsh government, and I think the other local authorities, I'm not sure, and you might be able to tell me down in London. But there are opportunities that you can get alongside certain programs to get mentoring that's not that expensive, but it's important, I think. I have mentors.
I do have mentors, and I have a lot of them because you need mentors to direct you, guide you, and they do different things. Every mentor in my life has a different role they play. Some have a role within my own family as well, just to make sure the kids I'm doing right, I'm not overstretching the kids, I'm not overdoing it, I'm not underdoing it. So sometimes, you need all that guidance because you think you're doing it or you're on the right path. But a mentor is someone who sees things from a different angle, different perspective.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It's just there. And it's something where, but the only thing I'd say to people is that you have to take away the ego when you have your mentor, because a mentor is someone that will tell you certain things. And if you're not prepared to listen, don't ask for the truth, because a mentor is someone who is there to give you the truth. And you have to be prepared to take that truth and absorb it. And either they can change in that what they've said, or you don't ask. And that's one thing
exactly. You spot on, because I have a well-being mentor, and one of the things that she taught me was slow down. Yes.
Exactly.
She said, listen, you might be enjoying it and you might think you're having a great time, but your body is saying enough is enough. Stress does not only come from doing stuff and from negative things. Stress can come from doing too much of what you're enjoying. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I had to bow to that. As you say, you need to listen.
I have to get you to the final question, which is about you. You have this energy, and I mean, unbelievable amount of energy. You're filled with you just joined the Zoom, and already my room is filled with so much energy already. I am positive about starting my day. I'm ready to get things going. Where does Benny get her energy from? How could you translate this energy for other people who are looking for that energy? They woke up not very positive this morning. They are down about their pains, all the pains they're going through. They woke up this morning counting their pain. Benny, tell me where you get your energy from, and how can you translate your energy to others so they see positive each day?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to come up with another cliche, but it's the truth. It's it's counting your blessings. It's about having a grateful heart. It's about one of the things I love about myself is I am such a little girl inside. And I always say, Lord, please don't let me be that girl who no longer gets excited about the little things. Get excited about little things. I'm like a little girl. Ooh, something. So celebrate. Guys, here's the key to being positive and excited and upbeat. Celebrate the little things. Yes. Do not be so focused on the big dream that you miss all the little things that are happening to you along the way. Yeah. Because all the little things add up to that big thing. Yeah. And another thing I tell people is this: it's where you look. Are you going to look up to the sky and all the blue and all that? Not no, we think right? Because we know it's not happening now. But we have a great day. Are you going to look up to the sky and all the beauty that is there? Or are you going to look down on the rubbish on the street and all of that? Which one? Where is your perspective? Yes. When somebody does something for you, it's not perfectly done. Are you going to look at that little thing they missed? Or are you going to see all of what they have done right? If we start a life and a lifestyle of looking at every given time, it's the best, always like in A Tale of Two Cities, always, I guarantee you, whatever is happening is always the best of times and the worst of times. Simultaneously, it's happening. Which one are you going to look at? So if you want to be like Bernie, yes, it is this: stop focusing on what you don't have. Start focusing on what you do have. Celebrate the small wins. It will set you up for the big win, because when you have that positive mindset, it just naturally flows to you. Some people call it universe, I call it God, right? It just works, whatever you want to call it. Yes. Speak what you desire, not what you fear. A lot of us speak doom into our lives. We shall have what we say. Call it universe, I call it God. Yes? But let me tell you, it works. Yes?
Amazing.
My questions, I'm answering it my way.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I really appreciate that, because it's always best to be honest. And I love the beginning where you talked about, I found my why. And I think this is one of the key things I have to take away with this conversation today, is that whatever you do, you must find your why first.
Yes.
Before you move anything. Danny, you're author, you're a media personality, you're a lawyer, you're a mentor, you do so much for society.
I publish as well.
I know, and you help diversity. I mean, you really are an inspiration to the community. You're inspiration to so many people at large. Thank you so much for this conversation. I appreciate your time.
Listen, I am so thrilled and honored to be seated here with you, because you are an incredible example of what I am talking about. And you are reaching the whole world with your message of relieving pain. And I tell you, the purpose with which you walk, I am so privileged to share a moment with you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. And I'm really privileged to be in the same room with you. Thank you.